Stop scrolling. This message is not for everyone. December 1st is about to rewrite your entire destiny. The universe didn't pick crowds, it picked you. Everything you thought was stable is about to break open. You are entering the final separation, and only the awakened will understand this. So listen carefully and stay till the end, because missing even one line could change everything for you. You're still here. Good. Because what I'm about to say is not something ordinary people are allowed to hear. This is the part where the truth begins to reveal itself. Slowly, sharply, and without mercy. For months, maybe even years, you've felt something shifting around you. You couldn't explain it. You couldn't name it. You couldn't prove it. But it was there. A silent pressure, a strange pull, a sense that your life was being rearranged from the shadows. And now, you're stepping into the last phase of your destiny. A phase that only a handful of people will ever cross into. A phase that separates the awakened from the unaware, the chosen from the crowd, the rising from the repeating. This is where sign number 1 appears. And if this sign has been happening to you, understand this clearly. Your life can never go back to what it was. Sign number 1, your old connections are breaking for no logical reason. The people you once trusted become distant. The friendships you relied on suddenly feel weak. The conversations that used to excite you now feel empty. And even when you try to reconnect, you feel the space widening. This isn't rejection. This isn't loneliness. This isn't you changing. This is separation. You're being pulled away from anything that would slow down your next chapter. People who are meant for your past cannot survive the environment of your future. And the universe isn't asking for your permission. It's removing them on its own. You may feel confused. You may feel abandoned. You may feel like something is wrong. But in reality, something is finally right. You're being cleared, cleansed, separated. Because what's coming next requires you to be lighter, sharper, and unattached to anything that drains your power. And if you've been noticing this shift, if you've been wondering why relationships are cracking without explanation, you are not losing, you are being pushed forward. Only the chosen experience this type of isolation before elevation. Only the ones entering the final phase feel this kind of invisible force pushing people away. It's not an ending, it's the first shock. But the real impact comes with sign number 2. Sign number 2, you feel an unexplainable urgency, like time is speeding up around you. You've felt it, you've sensed it, this strange pressure in your chest, this restlessness in your spirit, this feeling that something big is coming, something you can't see but can feel like heat in the air. Your intuition has been louder, your nights have been deeper, your thoughts have been heavier, and every day it becomes harder to ignore the voice inside you whispering, "Prepare." Something is shifting. You wake up differently. You walk differently. You pay attention differently. You're not distracted the way others are. You're alert, focused, on edge, but not in fear, in readiness. It feels like the universe is accelerating your path, pushing events, rearranging circumstances, aligning opportunities, removing obstacles, and placing you on a track you can't step away from. You feel it in your bones, you feel it in your instincts, you feel it in every strange coincidence that suddenly isn't a coincidence. Your timeline is being pushed forward. Your destiny is speeding up. Your spirit is bracing for something enormous. And here's the part most people never understand. This urgency you feel isn't stress. It's not anxiety. It's not pressure from your life. It's the universe activating your next chapter. Your abilities are waking up. Your inner voice is getting louder. Your path is becoming clearer. And your destiny is beginning to move on its own. These two signs, the breaking of old ties and the rise of spiritual urgency, are not random events. They are the first warnings that you're entering the final separation. The shift that divides who you were from who you're about to become. People around you won't understand it. They'll say you're acting different. They'll say you're distancing yourself. They'll say you're changing. But the truth is deeper, sharper, more powerful. You're not changing. You're being reconstructed. A new identity is forming. A new path is opening. A new destiny is waking up from underneath your old life. And the reason it feels intense, the reason it feels heavy, the reason it feels like something is watching your next step, is because it is. Every chosen person goes through the same moment. The moment when life stops moving slowly and begins pulling them with a force they can't stop. That moment is now, and you are in it. But here's the twist. Not everyone will survive the next shift. Not everyone will hold their ground when the separation becomes stronger. Not everyone will have the strength to continue when everything familiar begins to fall away. But you're still listening. You haven't turned away. You haven't backed down. That alone tells me one thing. You were meant to hear this, and your journey is only beginning. You've made it this far, which already separates you from most people. Because the deeper you go into this message, the more the truth begins to reveal itself, and the more your spirit starts recognizing what your mind has been trying to ignore. This is where the awakening becomes impossible to push away. You've already seen the first signs. But now we enter the part where the universe stops whispering and starts pulling. This is where the chosen feel their fate tightening around them, guiding them, shaping them, and warning them all at once. This is where sign number 3 appears. And if you've felt this, you're not just changing, you're awakening. Sign number 3, your intuition has become louder, sharper, almost dangerously accurate. You've noticed it. That inner voice inside you has stopped being quiet. The instinct that used to speak softly now cuts through the noise like a blade. You sense things before they happen. You feel people's intentions without being told. You see through lies, through masks, through energy that doesn't match its words. You walk into rooms and you feel everything. You speak to people and you just know what their spirit is hiding. You think of someone and they call. You dream of something and it shows up in your reality. You feel danger before it reaches you. You feel blessings before they arrive. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is not fantasy. This is awakening, real awakening. Your intuition is no longer a quiet guide. It has become a warning system, a shield, a compass. This is what happens to someone who is entering the last phase of their destiny. Your soul recognizes truths your mind hasn't yet processed. Your spirit reacts to things before your eyes see them. This level of awareness is powerful, but it's also intense. You may feel exhausted, overstimulated, overwhelmed by the energy around you. Because when your intuition rises, you stop living blind. You start living awakened. You are no longer someone who can be fooled. You are no longer someone who can be controlled. You are no longer someone who moves without sensing the energy beneath everything. And this is exactly why your life is shifting. Your fate is rearranging itself because you're beginning to see through the illusions that once kept you still. This sign is emotional. It's heavy. It's powerful. Because the moment your intuition activates, your old life can't function anymore. Your soul won't allow it. Your destiny won't allow it. Your spirit won't fit into it. But there is something even stronger. Something that almost every chosen person feels before their breakthrough. And this becomes sign number 4. Sign number 4. You feel disconnected from your old life, yet deeply drawn to something you can't define. This is one of the most shocking signs. It's the moment when you realize you're standing between two worlds, the life you lived and the life you're meant for. You feel it every day, a strange emptiness toward the things that once mattered, a lack of interest in old routines, old people, old habits, a sense that your past no longer fits your identity. Your mind doesn't fully understand it, but your spirit feels the shift clearly. You're not lost. You're being redirected. You're not confused. You're being pulled. There is something calling you, something ahead of you, something powerful, mysterious, magnetic. You can't describe it. You can't label it, but you feel it like a current pulling you forward. Something bigger than you, something beyond you, something that feels like destiny itself waking up inside your chest. This pull is emotional. It's haunting. It's overwhelming. It's sacred. You're not the same person you were. Your old identity is dissolving. Your spirit is shifting. Your purpose is mutating into something more intense. And even when you try to behave like your old self, you feel the disconnect. You feel the emptiness. You feel the lack of alignment. Because your spirit refuses to go backward. You're not meant to fit into your old life anymore. You're meant to step into something bigger, something destined, something written for you long before this moment. Your soul knows this. Your intuition knows this. Your energy knows this. You're standing in the doorway of transformation. You're balancing between what was and what will be. You're being stretched by fate, pressured by destiny, shaped by the unseen world. This isn't confusion. It's preparation. This isn't fear. It's activation. This isn't loss. It's the beginning of alignment. You're being positioned for a miracle, and miracles never arrive quietly. They shake you, break you, empty you, prepare you. You're feeling the disconnect because you're shedding the version of you that can't handle what's coming. You're feeling the pull because something extraordinary is waiting for you. And once you understand that these signs are not accidents, not coincidences, not emotional phases, you begin to realize something life-changing. Your destiny has already started. The next chapter is already in motion. And your awakening is not just happening, it is accelerating. You've reached the point where the energy around your life is no longer simply shifting, it's tightening. Everything feels faster, sharper, heavier, and somehow more dangerous than it was before. And there's a reason. Every chosen person eventually walks into the part of the journey where the air changes, the atmosphere becomes tense, and the sense of urgency becomes impossible to ignore. This is the stage where time stops feeling normal. Days feel faster, moments feel shorter, and your spirit keeps whispering the same warning. Time is shrinking. Be ready. This isn't fear. This is preparation. You're stepping into the danger zone, the part of destiny where the final signs appear, the ones that separate the prepared from the unprepared, the aware from the unaware, the awakened from the blind. And that begins with sign number 5. Sign number 5. You feel a rising pressure to let go of something you know is holding you back. There's something you've been clinging to, something familiar, something comfortable, something that once made sense, but now feels heavy. It might be a person. It might be a habit. It might be a belief. It might even be the old version of yourself that you've been afraid to release. Deep inside, you know this thing can't come with you into the next chapter. You feel it every day. It hauntingly reminds you that it's time to separate. You sense this growing demand from life, like an invisible hand pushing you forward and a quiet voice urging you to let go before the transformation begins. You may have tried to ignore it. You may have tried to justify it. You may have told yourself that you could hold on to it a little longer. But the pressure doesn't leave. It keeps building. It becomes heavier. It becomes unavoidable. This sign is dangerous because ignoring it delays your destiny. And when the universe wants to move you forward, anything that resists that movement becomes a burden, a block, a threat. This is why everything you're meant to release suddenly feels more painful to keep. The more you hold on, the more it drains your energy. The more you try to stay the same, the more uncomfortable your spirit feels. The more you resist the change, the more life pushes you toward it. The pressure you're feeling isn't punishment, it's protection. It's the universe warning you that this is your last chance to drop the weight before the next phase begins. Because the destiny pulling you forward requires a stronger, lighter, clearer version of you. And you can't step into your future while holding the chains of your past. But if you've been feeling this pressure, if you know something must be released, but you haven't had the courage to do it, that's not weakness. That's awareness. That's awakening. That's the sign of someone standing at the edge of transformation. And then comes sign number 6, the sign that usually arrives right before a major breakthrough or a major collapse, depending on whether the person listens or ignores the warning. Sign number 6. You feel watched, evaluated, or monitored by something you can't see. This one is intense. It shakes people. It makes them question their reality. Because it's not paranoia. It's not imagination. It's perception. You've felt it, haven't you? That sensation that something is observing your choices. That you're being spiritually tested. That every move you make suddenly matters more than usual. That your decisions carry heavier consequences. You might feel this presence at night when everything is quiet. You might feel it before making an important decision. You might feel it in moments where you hesitate. You might feel it when you're alone, but somehow you don't feel completely alone. This isn't a threat. This is a warning. This is the universe watching to see if you're ready for the next level. This is the part of destiny where your spirit is evaluated, your discipline, your courage, your choices, your alignment. Every chosen person experiences this moment, the moment when their life feels like it's being measured, weighed, reviewed, because the path you're stepping into requires strength and clarity. It requires obedience to your intuition. It requires the ability to move even when you don't see the full picture. It requires trust in your destiny even when everything around you feels uncertain. This sign is dangerous because it creates pressure, a pressure that forces you to confront yourself, a pressure that asks you to choose who you really are, a pressure that pulls out your truth, even the parts you've been avoiding. But it's also powerful because this is the moment when your fate sharpens. This is when your destiny begins to form its final shape. This is when the old version of you begins to tremble as the newer, stronger version prepares to rise. You're not imagining the feeling of being observed. That sensation means your path is aligning, your energy is shifting, your future is being arranged. You are being prepared for something that requires heightened awareness, heightened intuition, heightened strength. These are not ordinary signs. This is the stage right before your breakthrough. The part of destiny where danger and opportunity walk side by side. The moment where the universe gives you one final chance to decide who you're going to become, and you've already sensed it. Time feels faster, your mind feels sharper, your emotions feel deeper, your spirit feels awake, your entire being is on high alert, as if something enormous is approaching. Something that demands your readiness and refuses to wait any longer. Because ready or not, the next phase is coming. You've reached the part of the journey where everything begins to shift, from warning to awakening, from pressure to promise, from darkness into a faint but powerful light. This is the crossover point. This is where the universe stops testing and starts responding. This is where destiny moves closer, not as a shadow, but as a possibility. One that grows stronger with every breath you take. You've walked through the signs. You've felt the separation. You've endured the pressure. You've sensed the invisible presence shaping your choices. You've survived the danger zone. Now, you enter the phase that only the awakened ever reach. A moment where your spirit begins to rise above every fear, every doubt, every loss, every collapse. A moment where you start to feel the strange, electrifying sensation of something finally aligning in your life. This is where sign number 7 appears. The sign that tells you you're not just changing, you're being prepared to receive something enormous. Sign number 7. You feel a sudden, unexplained pull toward faith, renewal, and something greater than yourself. This one doesn't come with loud noise or chaos. It arrives quietly, like a calm wave washing over your mind. You wake up one day, and your fears don't feel as powerful. Your doubts don't feel as heavy. Your past doesn't feel as defining. You begin to feel something new, something soft but strong, something gentle but unstoppable. A hope you cannot explain. A peace that doesn't match your circumstances. A sense that something good is approaching, even if you have no evidence of it. It's the kind of feeling that makes no sense logically, but makes complete sense spiritually. It's like your soul knows something your eyes can't see yet. Something is coming. Something is arriving. Something is forming around you. This is the moment people usually overlook. But for the chosen, this is the moment that changes everything. Because when this feeling shows up, it means the universe is shifting something in your favor. It means your path is opening. It means your destiny is warming up, preparing itself to come closer, as if the breakthrough has already been set in motion and is simply waiting for you to step into alignment. This sign is emotional. It's powerful. It's spiritual. It makes you look at your life differently. You stop running after things that drain you. You stop begging for what isn't aligned. You stop fighting battles that no longer belong on your path. Instead, you feel pulled toward faith, toward trust, toward surrender, toward something that feels bigger than your pain, bigger than your fear, bigger than everything that has tried to hold you back. This inner shift is the preparation for what many people never receive, the miracle phase. Not a small blessing, not a random improvement, but a life-changing, destiny-altering shift that impacts your path forever. This is the moment where the universe begins to rearrange everything around you. Closed doors start unlocking. Invisible barriers begin dissolving. People who doubted you suddenly fade into the background, and opportunities that once felt impossible start moving toward you instead of away from you. The miracle doesn't arrive with fanfare. It arrives with alignment. Your energy changes first. Your perspective shifts. Your heart softens. Your intuition strengthens. And then Slowly, quietly, inevitably, your reality begins to match the frequency of what you've internally stepped into. This is the activation point, the moment where your spirit finally says, "I'm ready for what's meant for me." And the universe responds to that readiness instantly, because destiny doesn't move when you desire it. Destiny moves when you align with it. And this sign, this seventh powerful sign, is the proof that alignment is happening inside you. You feel pulled towards something greater because something greater is approaching you. You feel drawn to faith because faith is the doorway to your next phase. You feel a rising hope because your spirit senses the miracle that is already forming. This is not fantasy. This is not emotional escape. This is not wishful thinking. This is activation, real activation. The miracle you once thought was impossible has already begun shifting toward your timeline. The life you once thought was out of reach is slowly crossing the distance. The breakthrough you prayed for is no longer a distant dream. It's moving closer, step by step, moment by moment. The universe has already started working on your behalf. The changes are already in motion. The answers are already forming. The path is already opening. And the greatest sign of all is the feeling rising inside your spirit right now. That quiet, powerful knowing that something extraordinary is coming. This isn't hope. This is recognition. Your soul recognizes the arrival of what it has been waiting for. Your heart feels the presence of something it hasn't fully seen yet. Your destiny is stepping into your life, and you are finally stepping into the version of yourself that is ready to receive it. When the clock strikes December 1st, the world you knew begins to split. Not in silence, not in comfort, but in a way that forces every soul to choose a direction, higher or lower, awakened or lost. And the strange part? You've already felt the pull. You just didn't know what it meant. Listen carefully now, because this is where the final separation begins. Sign number 8 starts quietly, like something small is slipping out of your life. A person, a habit, a belief. Something you thought you needed suddenly disconnects. You don't push it, it just falls away. At first, you think it's random, like maybe you're just tired, or maybe your mind is shifting. But this is no coincidence. This is the universe removing what cannot travel with you into the final phase. Anything that drains you, doubts you, or distracts you gets cut loose, fast, sharp, and without warning. And here's the part that freezes people. When this sign appears, it feels like losing a part of your identity. Something that once felt familiar becomes unbearable. Something that once felt safe begins to feel wrong. Something that once felt like home now feels like a cage you can't breathe in. It's not destruction, it's extraction. You are being pulled away from who you were, so you can step into who you were meant to become. But the moment this sign shows up, a new energy rises inside you. Restlessness. A burning sensation that something huge is coming. You can't explain it, but it sits in your chest like a countdown. You start noticing people acting differently around you. Some grow distant, others suddenly pay attention, and a few watch you like they sense you rising. They do, even if they don't know why. Because once sign number 8 activates, your energy begins to separate from the old dimension. You're no longer aligned with your past. You're standing between two realities, one collapsing and one opening. And then comes sign number 9, the most powerful of the final separation. A sudden, unshakable clarity drops into your life, a realization, a truth, a moment where your entire body knows something big is coming. and I need to be ready. It hits you out of nowhere. One normal day suddenly feels like a warning. A conversation feels like a clue. A dream feels like a message. A silence feels like a sign. You start predicting things before they happen. You start sensing people's intentions instantly. You start seeing patterns, symbols, numbers, energies, things you never noticed before. Your intuition goes from a whisper to a voice to a command. And that's when the final separation becomes real. Because the universe is not preparing you for a small shift. It's preparing you for a complete timeline change, a leap, a break, a crossing. And only those who are awake enough, strong enough, and brave enough will make it through. December 1st doesn't just open the door, it closes another. And you can't go back once you step forward. When these two signs hit at the same time, loss and clarity, ending and awakening, you're no longer in the old reality. You're walking into the last phase of your destiny. You'll feel it in your heartbeat. You'll feel it in your thoughts. You'll feel it in your gut that refuses to quiet down. People around you won't understand why you're changing so fast, why you're suddenly done with old drama, why you're uninterested in old patterns, why old temptations no longer pull you. They'll think you're acting different. You're not. You're becoming real. The final separation removes everything fake, fragile, temporary, and draining. It leaves you with truth. It leaves you with power. It leaves you with destiny. But here's the moment that defines your fate. When the final separation begins, the universe watches your choice. Do you cling to the past because it's familiar? Or do you step into the unknown because it's yours? Most people freeze. Most people hesitate. Most people stay behind. But not you. If these signs are showing up in your life, you are already standing at the edge of your next timeline. The old one is breaking apart behind you. The new one is pulling you forward. December 1st isn't the beginning. It's the moment everything hidden becomes visible. Everything delayed becomes activated. Everything denied becomes undeniable. This is the separation of the awakened from the unaware, the chosen from the confused, the rising from the falling. And your next move will shape everything. If you're still here, then listen closely, because this moment is not random. This moment is not accidental. This moment is your calling. Lean in. December 1st didn't pass by you. It stopped at you. It chose your name. It pulled your energy. It marked your soul. You feel it. Something powerful moving toward you. Something that refuses to wait any longer. It's like destiny itself stepped out of the shadows and said, "Now." Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. The shift has already started. The separation is already happening, and you're standing in the center of it. You can sense the old timeline collapsing behind you. The people fading, the patterns breaking, the doors closing that you didn't even realize were locking shut. And ahead of you, a force so strong it almost feels unreal. Your path is no longer asleep. Your fate is no longer silent. Your miracle is no longer distant. Everything you've been feeling, every sign, every pull, every strange moment, has been leading to this final truth. The universe isn't warning you. It's awakening you. And the next phase, only the chosen will walk into it.